Well, Kelly, Amazon and the NFL had previously announced that they were going to be teaming up for Thursday night football starting with the 2023 season. Now they've just announced that they're going to be accelerating that, and Amazon Prime Video will become the exclusive home of Thursday night football starting with the 2022 season. So they're bringing this digital distribution of these Thursday night games a year earlier up to 2022. Guys, back over to you.
All right, Julie, a couple of observations here, which are so fascinating. So this is exclusive, meaning if I want to watch a Thursday night game, and I understand they're not always the best games, but they're working on that. But I have to have my Amazon Prime app in order to watch that starting in that season. Is that right?
Yes. So the 2021 season, that's the season that starts this fall, will be the last for Thursday Night Football on Fox. And they will continue to produce the NFC package on Sunday afternoon games. But Thursday Night Football will be on Amazon Prime. But remember, so many people now use Amazon Prime. It has 200 million subscribers to Amazon Prime. So this is really a broadly accessible format now. Well, really interesting to see how they're going to be able to use this to draw over new subscribers to Prime.
Yes, and I totally take your point that everybody kind of has exposure, or most people do kind of have exposure, but that doesn't mean it's always the easiest thing to find and watch. So, and I'm curious as well, if you would kind of go back to what's been happening with Roku and YouTube this past week, where they're in a huge spat. I mean, these are where the new spats are happening between carriers and the networks that are potentially making YouTube inaccessible on a platform like Roku. So what happens if Roku and Amazon get into a spat in the future, right? I mean, it just feels like this is kind of, we've rerun the script, but now with all these new apps and this whole new way of accessing all of these games.
Well, look, I think this is a very different situation than what's going on between Roku and YouTube TV. I think it's very important to note that they are talking about YouTube TV, which is the subscription service to get live TV through YouTube. They're not talking about watching regular ad-supported videos on YouTube. I think Amazon is going to make sure that if you are a Prime subscriber, they are going to let you know that you have football to watch on Thursday night on their platform. They're going to feature it. They're going to make sure it's easy to find. Yes, it's an interesting time when you have all of these content platforms and different distribution mechanisms. You can watch Amazon Prime Video via Fire Stick, which is very similar to Roku's devices. You have connected TVs. Ultimately, these platforms like Roku and YouTube, in a way, they're frenemies. They need each other. They need to figure out how to work together. And I think ultimately we will see some sort of compromise between Roku and that YouTube TV app, that conflict that you were just referring to, Kelly.
No, this is such a sign of the times, isn't it?
Shepard Smith here. Thanks for watching CNBC on YouTube.